Even though we flew into the Bilbao airport, our first real stop in Basque Country is Vitoria, where Alice is presenting about punk in the Wild West. Our drive from Bilbao to Vitoria was scenic and very green.
We were fortunate because our host brought us in early and allowed us to have equal time to attend the conference and explore the city. Thank you, Angel, Amaya, and David.
Hi, I'm Alice.
And I'm Greg.
And today we are here in
Vitoria-Gasteiz, the heart of Basque Country.
And you'll notice I'm wearing a little lanyard. We're off to a special conference where they've invited me to speak. And we're also taking the opportunity to listen to some of the other speakers and just get to know people and explore this beautiful, beautiful town. So
you can see everyone in town is out enjoying the sunny day. It usually rains here, and today we lucked out and got a beautiful warm day.
So we walked into this public garden and I noticed that it said Vitoria or Vitoria Gasteiz, and I wanted to mention that everything here is in Spanish and in Basque. Vitoria is in Spanish, Gasteiz is the same thing but in Basque.
Vitoria-Gasteiz is what's known as a European green capital. This city places an emphasis on being sustainable, and you'll see that throughout the city. They've created special bike lanes. It's like bikes rule here, and cars are second-class citizens.
Cars drool.
Seriously, it's a beautiful city. I'm sure it's frustrating for people who drive this city, but if you're a biker, it's paradise.
Later, we got familiar with the layout of the city by taking a little train tour. Amaya, one of the conference organizers, felt the trains tied into the Western theme. She had me a train ride. After the train ride, an ample supply of wine and pinchos were in store for us.
One thing that we figured out right away is that going out for drinks and pinchos around 9 p.m. can be a replacement for dinner in Basque Country.
I didn't think I'd ever get used to eating that late, but once you get in the groove of eating late, the other meals just make more sense. In the morning, you're still full from the night before, so you eat a little later, a little lighter.
Pinchos are available all day and can be enjoyed with coffee, wine, beer, or any beverage. Unlike tapas, which are typically smaller, complimentary bites served with your drinks, pinchos are more substantial and they are not free. The food is usually on display behind glass at the bar. This bar food is delicious and creative, and pinchos are also very foreigner-friendly because you can look at the different offerings and ask what each thing is.
Vitoria is the capital of the Basque Autonomous Community in northern Spain. It is consistently ranked as one of the 5 best places to live in Spain.
The old town has some well-preserved medieval streets. They contrast in a cool way with the very modern illuminated walkways, which this forward-thinking city has designed for those with mobility challenges.
We booked our visit to the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao while we were still back in Mexico. Booking trains and museum visits in advance is one of the reasons we were able to squeeze in so many sites during our limited stay. Places sell out, so don't make the mistake of flying or driving all the way to a city only to be turned away at the door.
We took a 50-minute bus ride from Vitoria to Bilbao. It was quick and inexpensive, and from there it was about a 15-minute walk to the Guggenheim.
When we got to the Guggenheim, I was sad to see that Puppy was being groomed. As a dog lover, I was really looking forward to seeing this plant sculpture up close.
We did get to walk through the Richard Serra sculpture, and we took in some Warhol, Basquiat, Cy Twombly, and many other artists.
I really like the giant spider that resides outside the museum.
I hope you don't suffer from arachnophobia because look over there.
Frank Gehry's soaring, swooping architecture for the Guggenheim nearly steals the show. The light-filled central atrium serves as the heart of this building, pumping blood to the various galleries located on different floors throughout the museum. Gehry's gravity-defying construction doesn't contain a single right angle or a straight line, challenging the visitor to adapt to an environment that is constantly in flux. After the museum, we took a walk by the river to the Casco Viejo.
So after all that walking, I'm a little bit tired, and I think I need some warm, fresh churros with some nice, thick dipping chocolate. Wanna watch me burn myself? Delicious.
We then made a quick visit to the Alhóndiga Community Center, which offers a variety of creative spaces and activities for the citizens of Bilbao. And then we took the metro back to the bus station to get back to Vitoria.
Back in Vitoria, we ate a late dinner and went to bed right afterwards. The following day, I would be presenting, and I wanted to be at my best.
Alice finished her presentation, and then the whole group walked over to the center of town for the closing banquet. I don't have to tell you that it was delicious and indulgent.
And of course, the wine flowed freely. There was talk of an evening concert a few nights earlier. I had been invited to participate in it. Now, after a few glasses of wine, I decided to take my fellow musicians up on that offer. Singer-songwriter Tony Montserrat and the multi-talented Oscar Avendaño from the band Siniestro Total would be my bandmates. While I went off to soundcheck, Greg took a tour of the cathedral.
The Cathedral of Santa Maria in Vitoria is kind of a casebook study in managing flawed preservation attempts. Earlier generations weren't certain how to best repair the sagging columns and walls, so they coated them in a layer of concrete, possibly the worst choice for porous stone that was already suffering from internal moisture erosion. Using modern computerized analysis, they are making good progress in saving this important 13th century Gothic cathedral.
And after the cathedral tour, Greg joined us at the concert venue, which was part of the university, sort of a converted cafeteria. The concert was fun, and we were planning on going out afterwards for drinks, but we chickened out. We'd already had plenty of wine that afternoon, and we needed to pack for our train ride to Navarra the next morning.
Hi, I'm Alice.
And good morning, I'm Greg.
Today we're at the train station in Vitoria. We woke up early to catch a train to Pamplona.
I'm wide awake. I got my coffee, I've got a little pastry for the train, and we're excited to see Pamplona.
It's part of Navarra, which is a place that I found out my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents are from. So we want to take a look around and get a feeling for the flavor of Navarra.
I reserved a car for us in Navarra a couple of weeks in advance. We knew that Alice wanted to go to Burgete, which is off the beaten path, so we figured a car would be the best way to go. Gas is partially subsidized here in Spain, so when you gas up, you'll actually be charged a little bit less than whatever it says on the pump.
Yay!
Please, don't kill me. Oh God, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So we are now driving through Navarra, or as the locals call it, Nafarroa. This is where the Armendarises are from. That is my maiden name, my father's name, my grandfather's name, and so on and so forth. Down to about the 1600s, when these Armendaris decided to leave Burgete and head down to Mexico to cause some trouble down there. So let's see what their life was like and what this place is like.
Even though this day trip to Burgete was motivated by my desire to see the land of my distant grandparents, I did also reread Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, part of which is set here in this town. I've also been listening to the Basque history of the world throughout this journey.
We're in Burgete now, and we just got here, just parked, and there happens to be this hotel behind me that makes me wonder if this is the sort of place that the characters in The Sun Also Rises stayed at. Yes. So one interesting thing that we found out about Navarra is that there were a lot of witches, that this was an area known for witches. So there is like a family history of witchery, which I find fascinating.
Witches. In the center of Burgete, there's a church. In front of the church is a lovely little square adorned by leafy trees. And here, in this very same square, in the year 1525, there was a witch burning. On June 19th, 1525, 5 bonfires ended the lives of 5 accused witches. It was part of the Spanish Inquisition, and the event is remembered as the Navarrese Torquemada.
Dang. It's interesting that witches keep popping up in places where my ancestors lived. We'll be heading out to Nika, the world capital of witches, later this month.
This is where Hemingway stayed when he was writing The Sun Also Rises.
We decided to drive back to Pamplona before nightfall, since the road to Burgete cuts through a dense forest. The highway is steep, winding, and has no lighting.
Greg was the brave one who did all the driving. Thank you, honey.
We checked into our room and headed out to look around Pamplona.
We're here in the center of old Pamplona, the Casco Viejo of Pamplona, taking in the sights and sounds. This is a town that's known for the running of the bulls, or the Fiesta of San Fermin.
Pamplona is famous for the Festival of San Fermin, better known in the U.S. as the Running of the Bulls.
The festival is also described in The Sun Also Rises. I've seen video clips and photographs. Call me crazy, but running in front of bulls never appealed to me. Greg, did you ever want to run with the bulls?
This bronze bull is as close as I want to get to one.
It's been an incredible journey here in Basque Country. I keep finding points of connection between my past and my present. Greg says I've romanticized the whole experience, and I'm sure I have. Nonetheless, finding out new things about where I come from has been very rewarding.
We hope you've enjoyed discovering Basque Country with us. If you have, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future posts.
Next week, join us in León.
See you then.
Or as they say in Basque Country,
Agur.